Hi, I'm Jamie from Sci-Fi-vision. Thanks so much for talking to me today. Appreciate it. Very much enjoyed the first two episodes. So Aisha, I want to start with you. Your character has to work with Rebecca this season, and it's maybe difficult. So can you sort of tease a bit about how that's going to go, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, I really love that storyline this season. I think it's dealing with a lot of really compelling concepts. The first of which is just like what happens when there's a workplace like romance that goes terribly awry. I don't think that's, I may think that's probably more common than we'd all like to admit. And, how do you deal with it as a mature adult? How do you deal with heartbreak when really you can go through your own personal stuff, but you still got to get up and go to work every day because literally, the job that you do can save lives. So I think it's been really fun to play. Nicole Pace's an amazing actress and just really like a lovely force on set. And so we're going to get a lot of comedy out of that. And then I think people are going to find it very relatable because also RJ and Kirsten's characters also have to work together after some very herky-jerky start. But I mean, it's real. You know what I mean? Workplace pressures are real. Workplace relationships are real, but the stakes are a lot higher when the work that you're doing requires you to set those emotions aside and focus on what's critical. So I think it's going to be really enjoyable for people to watch that journey for our characters this season.
Right, AJ, what can you tease about JJ this season? AJ, RJ, JJ. Gonna get confused here. No, what can you tease about her this season? What can
Um,
fans expect?
yeah, there's gonna be
What can I tease? What can I say?
exactly. I'm like, I don't want to say anything.
A lot.
We touch a little bit on deep fakes this
Mhm.
season, which is so relevant and just with AI in the world right now. So I'm actually quite proud of our show that it's dark and it's a lot to put out there, but I'm proud of us for taking that risk and touching on that subject a little bit. But yeah, I mean, JJ's, she's like everyone's little, emotional support dog. She's there for everybody, like,
I was going to say, AJ, I think one of the cool things about your storyline this season is that, your character, all the characters are so tough, your character's so tough, but this season really deals with vulnerability. Like the fact that these people are heroes and they're first in, last out, but that also makes them very vulnerable. And I think, I think your storyline's great, and you just carried it with such grace this season. People are going to love it because it's really about, someone who's both doing a really tough job but has a family and has her own kind of personal concerns, and like what happens when you're putting your body literally into the line of fire, and how vulnerable that can make you.
And
yeah,
then with so many other things going on too that you have to kind of compartmentalize, and I think you did that in such a beautiful way. Yeah.
well, I mean, I can say the same for everyone. Everyone has had such beautiful little arcs this season and have carried themselves with such grace, even in the pain of it all. It's a very vulnerable season for all of our characters, and it's I think it's beautiful to see on screen, and it's raw. It feels very raw this season, which is I love.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to see the rest of the season, to see all this. So RJ, your character comes in and helps with the case, and so can you sort of just talk about that, tease about that, working with his ex-girlfriend too? Maybe that's not the easiest thing.
Yeah,
But
it's a really interesting place. Tyler Green comes in kind of very off balance, I would say, in a lot of ways, having to work with this group that he kind of made some mistakes with last year, to put it lightly. In terms of the relationship with Penelope, I think when they met, Tyler was in such a rough place, and there was so much good added to him from that relationship, and so many positive changes, and I think that Penelope is a very kind of inspirational figure for him. Um, and so he comes into this environment, and it's very kind of fraught with all this stuff. But at the end of the day, I think he's really happy to see Penelope and get in there and get to work and kind of contribute. He's not used to working with a whole team, so he's I'm not going to say he doesn't make any mistakes this year, but he is excited to have a team, I think, and throughout the course of the season, we'll see how that develops.
right. Now, AJ, when you were talking about, I did think of one thing I can specifically ask you. Talk about the kind of confrontation with Voight, I guess, without spoiling it, like filming that scene and working with Zach there.
I directed the second episode, and my second favorite place to shoot, besides the car stakeout with these lovely people, so good, turned out so good, was the cell. The Stoneward penitentiary cell, Voight cell, sort of becomes a character in a strange way this season. But yeah, JJ gets to kind of go head to head with Voight, and there's sort of an interesting vibe between the two of them, I guess you could say. Voight can be a real smartass, and JJ's like, I live with boys. I'll do this all day. I can be a smartass right back to you. So, but it's interesting. I mean, I feel like they've really met their match with Voight. I mean, he is truly a talented profiler, as much as we wouldn't ever tell him that. But he's intelligent and is really good at reading people and getting into the minds of people. So yeah, I loved getting to do those scenes with him. Zach's wonderful. He's so great to work with. So yeah.
And then quickly, for the two of you, what was it like being directed by AJ? Is it hard being directed by your friend? Is it?
That was such a fun day. I remember the stakeout scene. That the whole day was basically all of the car scenes. So we kind of just rolled one into the other. And again, Aisha, we didn't get to spend that much time with each other last year, and so being in that Subaru for 10 hours, good car.
Good car, great car.
Having that day to really get to know each other so early on in the season, it was just a delight. It was so much fun.
And Nicole was in that too, who plays Rebecca. So it was some magic happens in that car. I loved that day.
And AJ was walking around the car and going like this, it just really good. It was awesome.
He is a really precise director, and so it's really enjoyable to get to work with her because she knows what she wants. She's really clear on it. She communicates really beautifully, and you just feel like you're well taken care of when you're on set with her. You just know she's got a vision and she's going to execute, so you can just relax and do your work. And having been there for the inaugural AJ Cook episode, I just think the world of her. I feel like every time, and I feel like this as a director, like every time you do something, you get better at it. And she's very masterful, and she's just very, what's the right word? She has a very definitive style and approach, and it shows in the work. And so it's always a blast when she directs.
Aw, thanks.
Well,
awesome.
Thank you.
I'm a big fan. I'm a big AJ Cook fan.
I think
Yeah,
I should
too. Well, I very much enjoyed the first two episodes, so looking forward to the rest. So thank you.
Thanks, Jamie. We'll see you again.